YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Seb Waddles. It's your boy Seb Conscious. Back with another video. About to go off. Hey, hey, hey. You guys, I got something that I want to talk about real quick. I was talking to my homie earlier, right? I was talking to my homie earlier about being vulnerable, and what that looks like in today's society. Come on, bro. Today's society and the modern man, what they teach us, bro. People think that being vulnerable makes you look soft. That is a myth. That is bullshit, you guys. Being vulnerable makes you look soft. It makes you look weak. No, vulnerability is a strength, you guys. Vulnerability is a superpower. Being able to talk about different things. If you guys are getting into the business of, you guys are getting on a high streak of semen retention, right? Learning more about yourself, doing shadow work, talking to God, talking to God on a daily basis, getting in tune with your spiritual side, with that connection, guys, the realization is that we're all human beings and we're all flawed at the end of the day, We all have different stuff that we've been through. We've all have different things, different traumas that we've been through. Maybe your childhood was messed up, I'm not trying to downplay anybody's situation at all, because I had my own struggles. Everybody has different things. Maybe you weren't close with your parents. Maybe your parents fought all the time. Maybe your parents got divorced. Maybe you didn't have many friends. Maybe you had a lot of different relationship problems with females. Maybe you were never able to have a relationship. Maybe there's a lot of different things, different traumas and things that can go in our heads, that we essentially will eat us up inside if we're not able to become vulnerable and speak about these things. All right. Especially if you guys are on SR and you're getting into that place to where you feel like, you feel that calling that maybe you want to start helping other guys out, like I'm doing with these videos and the podcast. God's put it on my heart to help people now, to try my best to help people because I want to please God. I want to please God and I want to be part of His army. I don't want to be part of the kingdom of darkness. Any of that bullshit. I want to be part of God. I want to make God happy. So God put that on my heart that it's time to switch, my mind and switch my intentions for what I wanted to do, and now I want to help people. So He's given me that superpower, you guys, to be able to be vulnerable and to lay things out for people. I do it a lot on the videos, bro. Talking about, we all have to be vulnerable. When we're talking about SR, we have to be vulnerable and talk about how we used to beat our meat all the time. That's not exactly something that we want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? How we used to beat our meat 2-3 times a day. That's embarrassing as fuck, bro. That's weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that every day for me, but definitely, I was easily, once a day, sometimes it was every other couple days, but usually it was that once a day, that relief. It was an addiction, bro, to porn, and I've gone through a lot of different addictions. I've gone to rehab twice, and basically, I started smoking weed at a younger age, and I got into some, I don't want to get into my whole story right now because I want to kind of make this video concise, but I started chasing women at a young age, got into smoking pot, started drinking, got into that party scene, right? And then I ended up doing a lot of drugs, right? And I ended up having to go to rehab, bro, because I ended up getting addicted to different kind of pills, Xanax, Percocet, and things like that. I remember I got a prescription at the dentist for some Vicodin, and that's what started the whole thing. I was smoking weed and drinking on a daily, or not on a daily basis, but every weekend, with my friends and stuff like that. And I remember getting that prescription of Vicodin, and that's what started the whole snowball with the pills and things like that. So it took me out, bro, And today, God is helping me use those struggles to be able to help anyone like, you know, like you guys. You know, I also talk with a lot of different people who are, you know, in that scene, because I'm in recovery now. So in that scene to where people who had problems with substances, you know, now I'm a beacon of hope for those people, which is a very beautiful thing. And what's my superpower? Is my story, is my struggles, you know? So you guys, being vulnerable is our superpower, you know? That's a strength. To be able to get on here, to be able to make a video, tell people what's going on with you. Whether you guys don't make videos, you know, you could do it in person, obviously, you know, to whoever. If you guys ever, you know, have battled any type of addiction, well, I know most of you guys have done it with the porn, you know, start spreading that word. Start spreading that word that, you know, porn, you know, is bad, and it damages, you know, your mental and your spiritual health. Turns you into a weirdo, bro. Turns you into a low power level, you know, low confidence dude, you know. That is what God wants us to do, you guys. He wants us to turn our suffering and our low points into our strength, you know. So being vulnerable is a very admirable trait, you know. A lot of people have a hard time being vulnerable because their ego won't let them. You know, they have a lot of pride and they're like, oh, I don't want anybody to know that I got that low. But it's actually an admirable trait to be able to explain, you know, where life had taken you. And then when you get out of that shit, bro, and you turn into that new version of yourself, it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring. You know, think about all the stories that you hear about of people that have, you know, had a super wicked drug addiction, anything, bro. Sex, gambling, anybody that's lost a lot of weight, anybody that was like obese and they lost a lot of weight. That's a beautiful thing, you guys. All that stuff is a very beautiful thing because they're figuring out those demons that get attached to you, bro. Those demons get attached to you, and it's a process of removing those demons, becoming vulnerable, talking about it openly, and then taking action, you know. And then at that point, once you've done it yourself, it's on you to start teaching people, you know. And you got to be able to use that vulnerability to get you to that place. You got to be able to use your vulnerability to inspire other people, you know, who might be stuck in that hole. In that moment that you had, bro, that moment that you had when you felt stuck in a certain situation. I know I had it. I had it right after I got that prescription of Vicodin, and I was taking the Xanax and I was taking those pills. I was stuck, bro, you know, for a few years. So it's what we got to do, you guys. You know, vulnerability is a strength. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Don't let anybody try to tell you that you're weak when you want to talk about your problems, because when you talk about your problems, you help other people, and that is a godly level thing to do, is to want to help and to want to teach people, you know. And that's what God wants you to do. So who cares what anybody says too, because you're pleasing God, you know. When you're using that vulnerability and you're using your struggles to try to help somebody, you're pleasing God, and that's all that matters, you know. So we got to lean into this, you guys, because this is how we're going to help, you know, ourselves, our peers and our friends, maybe your family members, but also that younger generation, you guys. That younger generation is going through it, you guys, so we got to be able to help them, all right? So that's the video that I got for you guys today. Vulnerability is a superpower and a strength, all right? When we get on semen retention, we start to learn about ourselves, start learning about who we are, start figuring out our story and what happened to us in life, bro. We got to start using this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Talk about this stuff. Whether you have a YouTube channel yourself, or you're thinking about starting one, or any type of, you know, things like that. But just do it in regular life too, bro. You know, people in your immediate life, you know, learn to be able to talk about your problems, talk about yourself, and try to inspire people, you know, like, because if you're really like, you know, about that action and you're going to take action to try to help yourself, you guys, they see where you've been and then they see where you're headed. It's going to be very inspiring. All right, and it's going to make you feel amazing. You know, it's one of the best feelings in the world is to inspire people and help people, especially with some of this super dark stuff that they're going through, whether it be addiction, you know, being overweight, anything like that, past traumas, you know, that's holding them back, got them in a mental prison, you know. There's a lot of different things. I'm keeping it brief on this video, but there's a lot of different things that people go through, you know. So all right, guys, much love. If you guys like this video, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think, and I'll be talking to you guys soon, bro. God bless.